Morning. Oops, can't see half my head. Like this, a little better. Morning. Morning. Okay, TikTok, let's go with you. Good morning. Beautiful Sunday morning. Well, not so beautiful, more like rainy. Water Sunday morning. Good morning, everyone. Today is a very interesting subject, systemic approach to life, based on the studies of Bert Hellinger. And I hope you are super excited about it. It's especially if you have analytical mind and you need to analyze everything, this would be a perfect subject for you. And again, as I said before, we're doing it because it is an Aquarius season right now, and Aquarius is all about knowledge and about learning something new, about knowing something new. So it's not Aquarius is not about energy or manifestation. It's more about knowledge. Aquarius believes that if it has knowledge, it can have it can conquer the world, basically. So because we're in this season, I will put morning ladies, morning Maria, morning Helena. I will put more of this subject. So more the subjects that's more knowledge based kind of. So I hope you see me good. Um, and we're going to talk about that. But before that, I want to tell you that February 22 is a kind of significant day. It's going to be Mars and Venus are going to conjunct. So on this day, pay attention to who you're going to meet. It's just for us ladies, it's a good day to meet your soul partner, for somebody, a man that you want to be with. Usually when you meet somebody at these days, we're going to be with these people. Even if you meet like a friend, it's still somebody significant because it's feminine and masculine planet combined. So it's the best relationship that's possible. So February 22, pay attention. February 21st, 22nd, 23rd, who you're going to meet during this time. So this is about a little like announcement. And I wanted to also answer a couple questions. So the first one, I was out on Friday. And when I came back, I was staying waiting for the elevator, and I had the sandals with the heels, so they're not like very high, maybe like 3-4 inches. And the girl, she was one of my neighbors. She was staying with me, and she's like, "You look so feminine," and it clicked. And I wanted to mention it. Heels are not feminine. Yes, I love to wear heels, obviously, like everybody else, but it's not feminine. So ideally, we should, because feminine channel goes from the waist down. Ideally, we should always stand firm on the ground. So we shouldn't be standing like this. We should stand firm. I even have mentors that never wear heels. They are women, obviously, and they are high valued women, but they never wear heels, no matter what kind of event they go into, and they still would wear flats. I mean, I'm not like that. I do wear flats a lot, but I do wear heels sometimes. But I want to say, if you want to feel feminine, lose the heels, basically, because heels they don't allow the energy to move as good as we should. So your feet should be firmly planted on the ground at all times, and the heels don't allow you that, so the energy doesn't move. So if you have issues with your femininity, probably the best thing would be stop wearing heels. It's really it doesn't allow us to ground and to circulate the energy. Remember, feminine energy from waist down. So that's about the heels. I just wanted to mention. Another question was again about the cooking. So we spoke about 50-50 approach. TikTok, if you haven't heard, on YouTube lives, I was doing YouTube lives 50-50. You can watch the recording. So the question is, why would a man not appreciate me cooking for him? I did never said that he would not appreciate. If you will come and cook for me, I would appreciate it too. Everybody appreciates it, but this is appreciation in the moment. It doesn't mean that that's what he needs. He would assume that this is your routine. like as I said, I have a neighbor who just cooks and gives the food around because she just feels like this. She feels like cooking. She likes it. It's part of her routine. It's like a hobby for her. So if you're doing something to oppress a man, he will not appreciate it. He will think that you're just doing it because you like cooking. That's all. Now, but what he would appreciate is when a woman is firm and confident and calm and oh, good morning, Nicole. Good morning. That's what she would appreciate. That's what he would appreciate. He would appreciate a woman that is composed. Like, for example, just because a man maybe likes building furniture, making furniture, doesn't mean like, yeah, you can assume that he's doing it for you, but you would think that he just likes doing it, right? So you wouldn't think anything about it. So the same with cooking, really. But the man doesn't need a woman that cooks. The man needs a woman that knows what she likes and what she wants, that she's confident. Okay, so those are two questions I wanted to address. If you have any more, you can ask. But let's do the family constellation because I have a lot. Oh no, not family constellation. We're not talking about that. We're talking about systematic approach. And why I didn't even mention family constellation, because we're going to talk about a systemic approach to life, and it's based on the study and work of Bert Hellinger. And you probably know Bert Hellinger through family constellations, because at one point they was super popular. If you don't know what it is, you can Google, but it's basically when you make an effort to rewrite the past of your ancestors and your relatives to fix your life, kind of to, so you're basically fixing the whole line of your family and ancestors for the better life of you and future generations. Now, what most people don't know, and a lot of people and a lot of people also don't know, is that Bert Hellinger, so he passed away recently, like maybe 7 years ago, not that long ago. He actually he didn't agree no more with that theory, with family constellation. He renounced it, but it became popular and it gave people some kind of power. So can you imagine if somebody would tell me, Anastasia, you can go back and rewrite the whole life of all the ancestors, and it will fix your life? I mean, I would gladly go and do it, but we don't really need to go through that trouble. So most of you know it through this. There is like even coaches and groups that were doing it. And basically you go back and it's possible. As an Reiki master, as an energy worker, I can tell you it's possible, but it's absolutely unnecessary. We're overstepping our boundaries, so to say, because people behind us are like they are higher in hierarchy. They were before us, and it's not really our place to go around and fix their mistakes. It puts us above them, and it never should put us above them. But it does work. It's a lot of work though, and it doesn't usually have a conclusion. I know people that do family constellations again and again and again for years and years and years, and they still run in circles. And maybe that's why Bert Hellinger himself and his students renounce it. So he actually renounced, and he believed that it's, you don't need to do this now. So what should you do? Because he studied this family relationship and the family dynamics and the ancestral dynamics and how it influenced the future generations for years, for 40 years almost. And he had a very interesting life. If you want, you can study. It's really fascinating what he done. Well, he had students that also followed up on his steps. So it's not like he's the only one, but there are a lot of people that follow that. And the systemic approach that we're going to talk about is also very popular and very fruitful, I would say. I did it myself, and I saw huge changes. When you know exactly where to put your mind, where to put your energy, it works much faster. You just need kind of a direction. So when I was given that direction, I was happy because finally, I saw the light at the end of the tunnel. Now, so the whole point of this systemic approach is that basically, if you're taking not your place in life, in the system, any kind of system, so everything is the system, and if you're not taking your place in the system, you won't be getting the benefits that you would if you would be in your right place. It's not the matrix, it's the system. So the system of our life needs to continue life on earth, basically. And every member, every link in the system has to help with the continuation of life. Now, if you are not helping with the continuation of life, then the system will basically dispose of you or put you into somebody's place to like a weak link. Now, if you will ask me, well, what now? Everybody has to have kids? No, it doesn't have to be kids. Continuing life could be, maybe you have a life mission that you do, and it really helps everybody around. Maybe you're doing some kind of charities. It doesn't have to be procreating of kids. Obviously, kids are like the main goal of the life, right? Of the system in life. So you moving forward with the life, but it's not the only one and the main one. And if you stay in your place and you're doing everything that everything that depends on you, you will have everything. You will have the health, the money, the wealth, the love, everything that you need. The goal is to get back into your place. Like most of us, we don't know where our place is. We're like all over the system, and another thing to keep in mind is that every single area of our life is the system. So you have a system with money, you have a system with your partner, let's say your husband, you have a system with your kids, with your parents, with everybody else, and you need to keep your spot in that system, not changing the spots. So, for example, let me bring you an example so it will become a little clearer. For example, if you want to make money to help somebody else, so this is your whole goal. You're making money and you're helping others. You're helping, like, let's say, your parents or your sisters and brothers. You are not using the money on continuing life. You're using the money just you giving money backwards. You're not using it in the right way. Money will not come to you because you're not using them to continue life. You're using them for your own kind of ideas, for something that for some kind of loyalties that are not even yours, so to say. Hold on a second. So you wouldn't be getting the money because you're not getting them for yourself, and you're not getting them to continue life. This is one of the like faults, one of the mistakes. Now, the idea is that we need to always move forward. The system always moves forward, and we have to move with it. If we are moving backwards, or if we are not, if we are like we're doing everything not to move forward, then the system is going to punish us. It might sound a little a little harsh, but it's not. Honestly, it's very easy. Let me just bear with me, and I will explain to you. So, for example, if you are taking care of your parents instead of taking care of yourself and building a family, you're stopping the life. So you're not continuing life. You're sitting over there in the back. So you're not moving the life forward. You're moving the life backwards, and that's impossible. You're not supposed to do it. You're supposed to go with the system. Now, how to give you an example here? You think that your parents need you, but really your parents want you to be happy. And when you are taking care of your parents, for them it's a burden. They feel themselves unaccomplished. They feel like they're a burden to you. They start feeling like they feel frail, and they feel vulnerable, and they feel like something is off, because it is something is off. Instead of them kind of encouraging you to move on with your life, instead of them being happy for you, being happy, being in love and continuing life, they have to sit now and kind of feel like they're burdening you, and they don't allow you to move. So you need to get back into your place and start living your life. Now, this is the couple examples, right? So if we are on the right journey, we usually get everything we want in life. I would want you to remember when you were like a teenager. when you're from probably like 15 to maybe 22. At that time, we're very self-centered, very like focused on ourselves. We only think about ourselves. The money that we make, we only spend on ourselves. We don't really think about our parents, about siblings. We just focus on ourselves, and that's it. We're like really, really selfishly focused on ourselves, and that's how it's supposed to do. Usually, at that time, if you remember, we're the healthiest. We usually get the money. We usually have a lot of love. We meet a lot of people. We have new friendships. Our life is booming. Everybody who I speak to, my clients, they always remember this time like it's the best time of their life. Why? Because they were selfishly focused on themselves. They were very self-centered, and they were only moving with their life. They were not thinking about, oh my God, I have to take care of my family, or oh my God, I need to do this, or I need to do this. They were only focused on themselves, and the life was going good for them. And that's the whole point, that we need to continue like this with um, like even now, no matter how old you are, no matter what your position in life is, no matter where you stand, then you still need to be self-centered and focused only on yourself and moving forward. The only people who you should be focused on somewhat are your kids, because kids are continuation of life. Until they are of age, you are responsible for them. That's basically the only people, and obviously your partner, because you could not procreate without the partner. And he's the one who helps you to develop, not only to procreate, but also to develop with continuing life. Maybe with him you can do some charity, maybe you can create something while he's providing security. So these are the only people that you should focus on. Now we'll get back to the parents, don't you worry. When you So if you right now, if you look at your life and see where you are, where you have some kind of, where you lacking, right? Maybe it's money, maybe it's health, maybe it's a relationship, maybe it's kids. I mean, where is your where is where are you lacking? What doesn't make you happy? Where are you not fulfilled? So that area probably is not like in that area you probably are not on in your role. Like it's not your spot. Like you're taking somebody else's spot. For example, if you are having a job and that job doesn't bring you enough money, you are taking somebody else's job. This is not your job. How to know that? You probably are not enjoying it. You're just sitting there, just for be to be, basically. Now, if you will change that job, you will probably free the space for somebody else, and you will be able to find a job that's more for you. You just need to be honest with yourself. Like me, I worked in finances, and I worked for a long time, and I was good at finances. I was making good money also, but I was not moving as fast as I wanted. I thought I wanted to be promoted to certain positions that I never got. I'm not sure why, honestly. Well, right now I know why, because I truly didn't want those positions. I just wanted to, like, I don't think I even would be good at those positions, because I just don't think I would. I wanted it for my kind of. I just thought that it's a normal way to develop in my career. That's it, really. It was not the position that I wanted. I thought that it's just the way how it's supposed to move. I'm supposed to move in my job. So that's why I never got it, or I think. Now, but I did got better. I mean, I was promoted into different positions where I got really, really good, like really good bonuses, and I was good at what I was doing. And then when they laid me off, I got a good package because I wasn't in that position, the position that I didn't originally want, but I was pushed into, and actually were even better for me. So if right now you're at your job that you are not satisfied, or that you're not making money, especially if you're not making money, because this is energy exchange. If you're not making money, that means that it's a wrong job for you. So if you are in such a job, chances are you're taking somebody else's spot. You are not in the right spot in your life. Either you are capable of doing something else, or there is another role for you, or there is another job for you, something like that. The same with, well, health is a little tricky. I will get to the health. Now, when we are in our role, in our spot, everything comes easy to us. The happiness, love, health, wealth, obviously, because this is something that's given to us to continue life. We're not supposed to be struggling for it. We're supposed to have it automatically and just continue life. Now, if we are not on our spot and we're not continuing life, the system is punishing us by taking it away. When I was little, in my culture, there was a saying: if a God gives a child, it will give like for the child. So will give money for the child, and it's exactly true. If you are continuing life, you will get the resources for the continuation of life. If you do it, obviously, with the good heart. Now, I'm I'm a Western person, so I don't believe in kind of. Just having babies one after the other. I mean, there's needs to be some kind of system there too. But I do believe that that there was a that if I would had kids when I was in my early 20s, who knows how my life would have turned around. I don't regret how my life is right now and was. I mean, obviously it was an experience, but I'm sometimes thinking, did I was it right for me um, to change, to switch roles, to do something that I was not maybe designed to do, kind of. So think about that. Think where you are like in right now, and you will find where you're not staying on your role. So when you are in your role, this is how you should feel. You should feel at peace. You should feel satisfied, and you should feel like really confident. If you feel anxiety, that's not your role. Um, so this is the easiest way to kind of to find out where you stand it. So now let's talk about a little closer about the roles, right? I will give you my example. When I was little, I was not little. I am the oldest child in the family, and when I was 11, my father died. So I took I took his spot. So the system is rather direct and a little cruel, you would even say. And the job of the system is to continue life. You know, it's how when we look in Animal Kingdom and the animals just kill each other right and left, and we just, well, okay, it's just a life, how it goes, right? If the tiger will not kill somebody, he will not eat. So the system that we live in is basically the same way. It's direct and it's cruel, and its continuation is not to make sure that everybody is fine and be a crying shoulder for everybody. It's basically to continue life. And if you are not in the system, if you are not moving with the system, then you're just a weak link, and you need to move out, kind of. Now, let's say so let's imagine there is a couple, there is a husband and wife, and they have kids, and then something happens. Let's imagine they got divorced. So they got divorced, and the wife is staying with the kids. Now, she doesn't have a partner. She needs a partner, right? Because it's a law of polarity. She needs a partner. Often she would the system, if she is weak enough to she doesn't want to get herself another partner, if she's weak enough and she needs another partner, the system will make one of the kids her partner, not literally, but she would start complaining to that kid, sharing her, her hardships, her difficulties. The kid will take the place of a partner, and that's what. So the system will push the weakest link, one of the kids, to become the partner. It's normal, and it happens all the time. You probably know it. You probably saw it. I see it many times. When a woman is divorced, and then one of the kids become like her best friend. Like the kid is not the best friend, but it becomes like a best friend. It takes the role of another partner. Not literally again, but it takes that role. It energetically takes the role. Now, the child doesn't live his life. The child lives the life of a partner. And this is the mistake. And it happens all the time. If you will analyze yourself, your acquaintances, you will see that happens all the time. Like it happened in my life. My father died when I was 11. I became a partner to my mom. My mom was telling me everything, like all her problems, all her secrets. I haven't lived my life for so long because I was on a place of my father. Then I got used to be on the place of my father for so long. Then when she didn't need me to be there anymore, I went to and I took the place of her mother. I became a mom to my mom, which was also wrong. It's not needed. It's not, nobody needs it. But I was so used to not be in my spot that I basically was just all over the system and was taking a different kind of spots. Now it was hard for me to get back to my place where I'm a child to my mother, and I'm not her partner, and I'm not her mother, obviously. And I work with my clients on with the same. I have like I think every single client I have has these difficulties. Every single one. You will be surprised. You think that you're in the right role. You think that your parents are good and they never divorce and everything, and you just living your life, but yet you could not build a relationship. Why? Because even though your parents are living together, you still take in one of their spots. Like for example, I have an uncle and aunt. They live together, but my oldest niece, their oldest daughter, she took the spot of her mother to be um, not literally again, but she's close to her father as a partner, not as a daughter, and she's proud about that. Like honestly, there's a whole an interesting situation over there. I mean, again, it's not literally. It's not that they are like physically doing something. It's energetically. Why she did that? Because maybe at one point my aunt was not very feminine. Maybe she was not very strong. My aunt, she was a weak child, so she got used that people are babying her. So I love my aunt, honestly, but this is what I'm showing you how it's happening right in life. We just need to find our spot, to get back to our place as a children. Now you will see it all the time, especially in divorced couples. It happens very often when the parent doesn't remarry or doesn't date and just stays with them with kids. At one point she will or he will start making the kids start mm, like talking to them like to grown-ups, like being trying to involve them in solving the problems, and that's where it's not supposed to be. Remember, the parents' role is to inspire and move kids forward. As parents, we're not supposed to be putting any kind of problems on our kids. It's not their job. It's not their job to solve our problems. Okay, so if you have issues, especially if you have issues with the relationship, that means that you are in your parents system, like taking the place of one of your parents. Find where it is and move yourself out of there. If you have problems with health, you're probably taking the place of your grandparents, because if you take in the place of another person in the system, you taking everything. So you taking the money, um, the the house, the like. For example, when I took the spot of my father, I was I would say my mom was working. Obviously, she was making, but I started working very early. I started working when I was 13. In my country, it's not even allowed till you are 18. But I still managed to somehow work. Then I came to United States, and I still was working, supporting like helping supporting my family. So what I want to say is I had the benefits of my father, but yet I didn't have my life going on. So I had the money, but I didn't have the relationship that would propel me further in life. So like when I remember when I became a mom to my mom. So my mom started coming to United States, and I was like babying her too much, which there was no really reason. I was very independent, very like I started having issues with my health. I said, okay, here's hurting, there is hurting, because I was taking the place of my grandmother, of the mom of my mom. So if you have issues with the health, find out maybe you're not taking your spot. Now, if you become a mom to your grandma, so you take the spot of your great grandmother. Like I had one client that was her. She was so her grandma brought her up, and she felt like really responsible for the grandma. So she was babying her grandma basically. So she took a spot of her great grandmother. So the mother of her grandmother. The issue why I knew that, because she always had cold hands and cold feet. She was taking the spot of a person that's not even alive. What would an unalive person need in life? Of course, there was no money, there was no health, there was like, because she was taken like a completely completely wrong spot in life, completely not her spot in life. I mean, it sounds creepy, but it's true. Trust me, I checked so many times. I checked with my clients, with myself, with everybody. It's really fascinating. Once though she moved back, and I told her, your grandmother doesn't need help, and then you have parents that can take care of your grandma. She doesn't need your sacrifices at all. Once she moved to her spot, her hands and feet were not cold anymore. Like, it is that fast, it moves that fast basically. But all you need to do is just switch it in your head. But system is not going to do it for you. I want you to remember this. A system is not going to do it for you, because the system's job is not to baby you. The system job is to move forward. One of Bert Hellinger's students was calling this invisible loyalties. Like, we're loyal to the system for no reason. We're loyal to our ancestors for no reason as well. For example, uh, if my parents, let's imagine my mom. So I'm loyal to my mom. If my mom, that's another thing to keep in mind. If my mom was changing jobs all the time, she was not, but let's imagine she was. If she was changing like every year, she never was satisfied with the job, I would feel obligated to change jobs myself. You can notice usually our huge changes in life happen also when our parents' changes in life happened. No, like, observe yourself. Observe. It's like, for example, my mom loves to travel very much. Um, I was born with Venus and Sagittarius. Like, it's like I always want to be moving, even though I don't really have that much planets except this Venus and Sagittarius. But I do want to move around. This is what it's called invisible loyalty. And or for example, if your parents, let's say your grandparents, they were struggling with money, and they didn't have a good relationship with money, chances are your parents also had the same issue, and you will have the same issue. This invisible loyalty to your ancestors. Now, what family constellations would do, and you would basically go back to a couple generations and rewrite it. Now, you don't have to rewrite it. You can just stay in your spot. If you will stay in your spot, you don't have to adopt those invisible loyalties. You wouldn't have to. You will just move in with your life. Remember, those loyalties are behind, and if we're not looking behind and moving forward, we don't have to take the loyalties. We're good at where we're standing. We only take those loyalties if we continue looking back and accept it as it is. So, what to do basically? What to do with yourself when when you finally found the issue? So you need to find the issue. What is your issue? Is it health? Is it money? Is it relationship? Is it love? Can you maybe not? You cannot have children. I mean, what's the issue? What would be the issue for you? You need to find it first. And so once you will find the issue, I mean, you know where it is. You can put it here if you want. We'll find it together. Find where you're taking the wrong spot. So, for example, if it's your money, probably you're not doing what you're supposed to do. Probably you're taking somebody else's spot. Probably you could be doing better something that you like to do, or maybe something that maybe there is a better place for you. I remember I got a job here when I was already working with Reiki. I had clients, I was doing candles and everything. Somebody told me, you should get a job in working for the state. It would be a good, like, not that hard, and it's like really good benefits and everything. So I went. I don't know why did they do it. I mean, I stayed there for a month. So I went. I was working Department of Revenue. I stayed there for a month, and I remember how miserable I was there. It was not me. It was not for me. It was completely out of place for me. It was so not me. Another thing, I was always in traffic, driving there, driving back. So, anyways, I quit the job, obviously. And next month, I had such a quantum leap in my business. I made more money than I made the previous 3 months altogether, and obviously, I made more than I made in that job in a month. So it was an indicator that I was taking the wrong spot. And once I got myself out of there, the system rewarded me with that. So you need to find where you're taking the wrong spot, But again, job hopping is not exactly what I'm trying to get you to. I'm trying to you to understand that maybe you're taking the wrong spot right now. If you are miserable in life, then probably you are taking a wrong spot in your system, in your family system. Um, but the but if you are in this particular job, you are unhappy, then probably it's not a job for you. And why did you take it? Like me, I took it because I was influenced, but my ex-colleague who also took a stage job in New York, and she like just loved it, and she was constantly like on my ears, like, you should do, you should do, you should do. Honestly, as later I found out, she also didn't like it. She just went there for the benefits. But so this what it is. And then you need to change it. You need to find the right role and not be afraid to change it. For example, you are with the partner, but yet you couldn't have kids. Now, but you have a partner, you're moving forward, right? So you are not like taking care of your parents, you are with the partner and you want to move forward. And that was in my family with somebody, with one of my cousins. So she had a man, and they lived as a family, but they couldn't have kids. Why? Because she was not taking a role of a wife. She was not a wife to her husband. She was she was more like a daughter. It sounds a little strange, but yet it was. So she was not taking responsibility for her life. She never worked in the beginning. Now she is. She's actually very successful right now in Korea, and they have kids. But before, that's what happened. When I was doing this, when I was very much into this systemic approach, I was analyzing everybody I knew. So all my cousins, all my relatives, distant relatives and not distant, they all were analyzed. So she was not taking responsibility for her life. It's like she was forever teenager. So she needed this guy because he was kind of giving her the security. Her parents were giving her money all the time, even though she's older than me. And she was basically like, if I became an adult too early and took a spot of an adult too early, she was a kid for too long. So you see, there is like like you need to make sure you're not you're not hanging somewhere where you're not belonging. So she was a kid for too long. How can a kid has a kid? Like, she could not. That's obviously. So at one point, she basically, I guess, took the responsibility for her life, and she started. She found a job. It took her some time to get used. When you never worked, it's kind of unusual for you, right? So I don't mind women not working. I actually applaud women that don't work. I don't believe that women should work, but they should take responsibility for their life. They should have something going on for them, some kind of maybe hobby or something that would keep them that would make them a woman instead of a little girl. So it was her way. She found a job. It took her some time to get used to it and to accept it. Once she took the responsibility for her life, once she stopped depending on her man, once she kind of roles and she became like a grown-up independent woman, it was like this. She got pregnant right away. So all she had to do is basically take her role as an adult that is grown up and that has to cater to herself. Um, and that's what basically you should do if you have some kind of issue. Now, everything in our life has because those are three steps. See where you having an issue. Find where you're taking the wrong spot, like where is your spot, and then change it. It will be a little hard because we're creatures of a habit, and it will be very hard, especially if you are like it's easier when you're a child, but when you are like already grown up and you have a life, it would be very, very hard to switch the roles. I know it because I went through this, and it was a very hard time for me. So hard. I would drive to some park, to Prospect Park. Usually, I would go in the wilderness and I would just cry and shout, and because I could not break my patterns. It was that hard for me. It was that hard for me to put myself into the place where I belong, not where I'm used to be. So if I was always my mom's partner and then her mother, and now I had to become her child. Just imagine. I mean, it was very, very unusual and very hard. Now it takes time, obviously, to do that. But it's not only about our parents and about our finances, about our job, about our children. It's also about everything else in life. Like, for example, um, your bedroom, right? Let's say your bedroom. Your bedroom is a place for you to rest, to sleep, to relax, right? If you will use your bedroom for something else, for I'm not sure for what, I don't know, you start inviting guests and you just hanging out in your bedroom instead of a living room. I mean, your bedroom, your bedroom is not taking its place. So you will feel uncomfortable in your bedroom. You won't feel as relaxed or as comfortable in your bedroom as you did before. So it's not only, it's with everybody, everything. Or for example, you have a car and everybody, and you give your car to everybody. So you are not, you're supposed to be an owner of your car, and you're supposed to like your car and like love your car, take care of your car, and the car will kind of serve you. Instead, if you're giving it to everybody, you're basically telling that, oh, I really don't care, I don't need this car that much, and the car will start breaking down, because you showing the system that you don't really care for it. With the money is the biggest thing. um, I remember when I started playing the lotto. There was another girl we used to play together, and she used to say all the time like this: "When I win, I'm going to give to this charity, to this charity, to this charity." I'm like, "Well, why are you playing? Just to give to charity?" And she's like, "Yes." I know why she was telling this. She felt guilty. I felt guilty too, but I was not as guilty to give away everything. But that's how she felt, and she was telling this all the time, like if only I win, if only I win, I will give it to this charity. And you know what? She never won. She never won even like $10. Why? Because she's asking for money, not for herself. Why would the system give her money if she's not asking them for herself? She will give it to the charities through other people. Maybe somebody will give a huge donation or something like that. So again, she was in the wrong spot with the money. Money comes to her so she can have an easier life, and she can maybe become more feminine and start procreating. Truthfully, she wanted money for herself. Honestly, she just couldn't admit it, and I was not kind of strong enough at that time, or maybe I just didn't care to show it to her really. Because I was myself a little lost. I wanted to have this historic project when I was playing. So again, I was also not as self-centered as it should be. If you are playing the lotto, if you want the money, it has to be only for you alone and nobody else. Then, when you have a lot for yourself, then out of abundance, you can obviously share. You can give maybe some to I don't know, to your parents or to your siblings or to your immediate family members, but only from the abundance. You couldn't put a goal of I want to become rich so I can give money to others. The system will be like, then why should I give it to you? Let me just give it to others and that's it. I mean don't waste my time. Don't waste my time. I don't need an intermediary here. So this basically was that. It was everything, it was everybody. Now, so one thing is that we need to make sure that our spot in life is right. Another thing, we need to make sure that people that surround us are taking the right spot. And usually, when we take the spot, the people around us will take their spot. For example, when I became a child to my mom, and let me tell you something, it was not easy, not easy at all for me. And if you are a child for your parent, you should always act like a 2-3-year-old child. So is 2-year-old child is going to ask the mom, how are you doing? No. The 2-year-old child will say, Mom, you know what? I have an idea for the new meditation. I'm going to record it. And the mom will be happy to hear it. My fear was that if I would live like this, if I will take my spot, and if I will not care about my mom's life will fall apart. How mistaken I was. Apparently, my mom's life became even better. She started having friends. She started traveling more. She became a parent, the strong parent that she was long before I came into this life. So you see, I didn't only help myself. I also unknowingly helped my mom to live her life like as good as she can. So, and meanwhile, I had time to kind of to continue my life the way it was supposed to be. So I started working with energy. I started coaching. I started making candles. I started dating men, but differently now, like with the purpose, and the relationship like went on a different level. My life changed completely once I took my spot just with my mom. It was only with my mom. I obviously took my spots with everybody else, with money, with friends, with colleagues, with everybody. But just by fixing the role with my mom, I already had a huge change in my life. So that was basically with my mom, right? But I didn't had to go and change her. Um, I didn't had to go backwards and rewrite the stories of her life or anything. All I had to do is change myself. Once I changed myself, she went back to her role as my mom, and that's just it. That's just how it happens. So don't worry about your ancestors. Don't worry about your family. Don't worry about your relatives or anybody else. Don't even worry about your man. Once you get back to your role, they will all take their places. So, for example, if you have a man and you feel like you are more a mom to a man than a wife, then you take in the spot of his mother. Now, how is he going to act? He's going to act as a son, as a brat, as a spoiled child, because you are not his wife, you are his mother. I had a client like this. She was complaining to me all the time that her husband is not making money, that he's not trying to better his life, that he's this, he's that, he's. And I tell her, you're not his mother. You're not supposed to be babying him. I mean, it's not your spot, especially because the guy was successful before he was with her. So now what happened? He's capable of being successful. Now, why is he acting like this right now? Is it because she's not acting like a wife? So what happened? She basically stopped beating him up. They just like zip her mouth and never said nothing to him again. But he didn't change. So she came to me again like a couple weeks after, and she's like, "Well, he's not changing. You said it instantly." I said, "Yeah, because you're not telling him nothing, but you're feeling it. You really feeling." So it took us some time for her to change her opinion about that man. Like really, it took me so long to get her back to where she belonged, where she even started with him, when she was a woman and he was a provider, when he was a man, when he was a strong man, before she started um, being a parent to him. So if your relationship is not actually it's not what you are, if you that you want, if your relationship is not rewarding, then maybe you're just taking a wrong role with your man, with your husband, like this. And in that role, and you just need to switch. Once you will switch, your man will go back to his role, so you don't need to do nothing. Now let's talk about the kids. Kids are important, I believe, because clients that I have and that have kids, they have issues with kids. This is our role. The only people that we can parent, that we can teach something, is our kids, but only until they are um, of age, until they're 18 or 21 in the United States. Only till then. After that, the kids have to be free. And we shouldn't be helping kids with money, with anything. Like, because they have to become adults. Remember, um, if we will not let them go, they will be like my cousin, a child forever. And that's not what we want. We want our kids to be successful adults. So I like the approach in United States, where the kids that kind of making their money when they're teenagers, when they become independent, kind of they have the support of the parents, but still they can become they do become grown-ups and dependent on themselves. So that's how it's supposed to be with the children. Nobody else. We're not supposed to parent nobody else. Like me, I'm not going to give advice to anybody unless I'm asked for it and I'm paid for it, or some kind of exchange. Otherwise, I'm overstepping my boundaries. If I have a friend and the friend will ask me for advice and she's not paying me, so I'm not her coach, I will take a place of her mother. I don't really want to take nobody's place. Now, on the other hand, if she's just like asking my opinion as a friend, like for example, she's buying, should I buy this blouse or should I buy a different color blouse? I would give her my opinion. There's nothing wrong. I mean, this is not parenting. This is just my opinion. But if I am, if if I'm start parenting her, like for example, I'll tell her, listen, I don't think this man is good for you. I don't think like stuff like this. Like I would, that would be probably wrong. And before, I used to overstep my boundaries a lot. Right now, I'm not. I'm not. Thanks God. I mean, I'm catching myself all the time. So make sure that if I'm with the friend, I'm just a friend. We're even. Remember that everybody is even. You're not even only with your parents because they are higher in the system than you, and obviously your grandparents and everybody else. And but your brothers and sisters, you guys are all even. So you're not any better than them, and they're not any better than you. With your partner, you're even. It just you have different roles, and with your kids, you're above them. So don't, you're not friends with your kids. Don't become a friend to your kids. That's not what they want. You might think that they want a parent friend. No, they are not. They want a parent that they will feel secure about, the strong parent, the strong figure that will show them, that will show them a good example, a loving mother, and like an independent, secure father, kind of like that. Um, okay, I think that's it. Okay, no, one more thing I need to mention. Oh my God, this information I could go on and on and on, but there is a lot. Don't. Why I'm so against with switching roles? Like for example, you have a partner, and you guys decided to open a business together. I am always against it. Also, opening business with family, with friends. Um, why? Because it's hard to stay in the right roles. For example, if me and my friend will open a business, we're friends, right? But now we have a business to run, so we have responsibilities to share, money to share. It would be, unless we're very conscious and we know, okay, at this moment we're friends, and in half an hour we're business partners, and like, unless we're conscious and we know when to when to kind of when we're friends and when we're business partners, it will be hard for us to switch the roles all the time. That's why I don't advise you to go in business with partners, with your life partners, like with your man or with your family members, unless you are that conscious that you will be able easily to navigate where you are business partners and where you are, and where you're not. And also, if you have a business, you also, this is the system as well. You need to take responsibility for your business and for the well-being of the business. In your business, I depending on how big your business is or not, you are also, who are you there? Um, mm, are you the owner, or are you the managing director? Like, who are you? Are you taking the right roles there? That's also important. I had a business. I had a limousine company there myself also, and I remember I was struggling the most when I was taking wrong roles. When I was trying to be everything at once, and it's never right, because I had people that were something else. So why would I take their roles as well? If you have business and if you have issues in business, chances are you're just not taking the right role there either. Again, you just need to find the issue, and then basically just find where you're taking the wrong spot. If you have issues with that, you can have a consultation with me. We can do it together. But it's impossible that you have issues with something and you are, like, you taking the right role. It could be something like, hmm, like for example, I will have another topic on debts, but if you have debts, like, why would you have debts, right? Why money doesn't come to you? Maybe inside you feel indebted to something. Maybe you feel like you owe something, like you are not taking the right role. You don't believe that you're deserving to receive the money. Why? Like what is the issue here? On what role are you that you're not deserving? So there is always you taking somebody's spot. Okay, your questions. Let me look what is here. Okay, I think that's so. To sum it up, um, this systemic approach will not change your energy work, will not change your feminine development, will not change will not change your mind work, but it will give you the guidance. If you know that your goal is to move always forward, to continue life somehow, you will be focused more on yourself. Yes, of course, you will need to raise the energy. I mean, I started working on this only when I was ready for it. I had already enough energy for it. Yes, of course, you will need to start to keep working with your mind. Of course, you will have to work with your femininity, because if you want a masculine man, you have to be feminine. But at least you will know how to move forward, how to take the right spot in life, basically. And this is um, like a lighthouse in your life, basically. As long as you're moving forward and focus on yourself, you're good. Again, you know that you're right. If I will if you will stop caring about your parents much and start focusing on yourself much, you will take you would basically take in the right role. Trust me, nothing will happen to your parents. Nothing. They will be good. They were good before you, and they were good after you. Doesn't mean that you shouldn't help them. You should, but not from the place of lack. You should help them from a place of abundance, and it's much more better for them and much more better for you. So like that. Okay. And and what to do? So you need to find an issue. Where is your issue at present moment? So it could be relationship. If your relationship is not happy, if you're not happily married, if you're not having kids, if you're not satisfied in your relationship, then you have issues in your relationship. Just because you have a man doesn't mean that you're in a fulfilling relationship. Then so you find an issue. It could be health, it could be money, it could be your calling, so you're not satisfied with what you're doing. It could be that, anything. So any kind of issue, anything really. Your apartment, maybe you're not happy with your apartment. So you find the issue that bothers you the most right now, then you search and find where you're taking the wrong spot. For example, maybe your mom was telling that happiness, money is not will not bring you happiness, and you're like just being loyal to her, just repeat it to yourself somewhere in your unconscious mind, and that's why you don't have money, like this. So you need to find where you're taking the wrong spot. What is where are you not on your place, and then you need to change it. You need to find your role. You need to place yourself in the role where you belong and move forward, and that's how you'll fix it. And everybody around you will fix automatically. You will see it happens that fast. It really happens that fast. I will tell you one story from my past. So I was very I had mentors with this um, with systemic approach. I really did, because it was hard for me. It's like I was running in circles. I was not sure where I was taking the wrong spot, where I'm not taking my place. Kind of. It seems I was a good kid. I was taking care of my mom, like helping her. It seems like I was good, but again, I was convenient. I was not continuing the life. I was just a weak link in the system. So I had mentors, and I was very strict with myself. I watched every single time what I'm saying, what I'm doing, how I'm interacting with some. Like, I was very strict on myself. And my mom's birthday was coming up. She was visiting me at that time. So usually I would buy her flowers for the birthday. But we could not buy flowers, because flowers are bought by a partner, but a life partner, by a man. So I couldn't really buy my mom's flowers. So I was sitting at my job, and I was like, so now what? One thing, that this COVID and we could not go nowhere. I will have to order delivery. Now I couldn't even buy her flowers. And I was like really in my thoughts. But I was determined that I'm not buying flowers. So I had this client. He came in. He was a very wealthy client, very wealthy, but he was not like squandering money around. He never, in whatever 3 years I knew him, or 4 years, he never bought me nothing. He never even brought me like free coffee. I never really expected, but usually clients would bring, but he didn't. And when I just knew him like that. So he came in, and I didn't hear him. He walked into my office, and I didn't hear him. And you like, must be something serious you're thinking about if you didn't hear me. And I'm like, yeah, today's my mom's birthday, and I'm thinking what to do. All the restaurants are closed. And he's like, oh, your mom's birthday? I'm like, yeah. He's like, why don't you after work stop by? So he had stores, he had buildings, and he was renting the stores out. So he's like, why don't you stop by? I will get something for your mom. Honestly, I thought he was just joking, or I'm not sure. I didn't expect nothing, but my car was parked there, so I'm like, okay, I might as well stop by. So I went in, and to my surprise, he had a huge bouquet of flowers prepared, and he went to a liquor store next door, and he got my mom the wine that she liked. So what I want to say is that when I decide that I'm not moving from my spot, the universe get my mom flowers other way. That's what I want to say, that you don't need to do nothing. You just need to make sure you're staying in your spot. I had a client with the husband, not with the husband, they were like boyfriend and girlfriend, and she wanted him to be more masculine. And I told her, well, you need to be more feminine, you need to be more of a woman. And she always wanted to change him, instead of being more feminine. And when she started focusing more on her femininity and on him as her husband, like she would be focusing on their sexual attraction more than on what is he doing and what he's not doing, he became more masculine. So I want to say, don't worry about don't worry about other people. They will change. They will change very fast once you will change. Once you will get back into your spot. So as long as you are not all over the system taking everybody's spot, you should have everything. You should have health, love, money, abundance, and a good feeling. You should be. You should really be satisfied. You should feel calm and peaceful, like that. Okay. I think I'm done. If you have questions, ask. If not, then we're going to finish. Before we finish, I will tell you what we're going to. It's a lot of information. It's a little deep information. I know I squeezed it all in 1 hour, but if you're interested, you will understand what I'm saying. Once I heard about it from one of the mentors, like I couldn't give it a rest. I knew that it's where I'm supposed to look into. I knew I knew that it was my issue. And I started getting more and more and more into the subject until I get into my spot, and everything in my life changed again. But I was ready for it. I had enough energy, enough strength. I was very strong. I was very strong for these changes, and it still took me. It was very traumatic, so to say. But once I got into my spot in life, it became much easier, right? Much easier, much more pleasurable. As I say, right now I hardly ever upset. I'm like, I enjoy everything I'm doing. I enjoy everybody I'm with. It's completely different. It's completely different life. What affirmation can you say to help allow or invite your feminine energy each day? I'm pleasure. I have actually a meditation on YouTube. It's called I'm pleasure. You can listen to it. It's 20 minutes. It's beautiful, and you will be able to. So femininity is more in your body. You need to feel your body, and you need to feel you feeling the pleasure and the love in your body. As long as you can stay in your body, you will be feminine. But I would say, I used to say it actually. I actually have a bag, and it's engraved there. It says, "I am love. I'm prosperity. I'm pleasure." And the pleasure is like in the big letters. And I used to look at it all the time. Every time I opened my bag, it was right there, and I would. So I would say that, because feminine energy, pure feminine energy, is pleasure. That's just, there is nothing else to it. Love, yes, obviously, but pleasure is the most. So I would repeat that, if that's what you want, if the affirmations. But I would stay in my body. Imagine that there is a ball of light in your womb, and just focus on it until you'll feel the pleasure that engulfs you. But the meditation on my YouTube, it can help you as well. And for my YouTube listeners also, don't forget to listen to it, especially when you wake up. Like, put yourself into the right state. Allow yourself to feel pleasure, to go through the day with the pleasure. Okay, so on Thursday at 7 p.m., we're going to talk about social life and social media and feminine energy. That would be interesting. If you think that you don't have enough friends, or maybe you're not in a social, let's see whether you are. And next Sunday on at 11 a.m. we're going to talk about finances and femininity. I already did a live on finances, but this will be different. You see, everybody has different kind of issues when it comes to money, and it depends. Yeah, you're welcome. And it depends on where you might be blocking yourself. So, for example, if your third chakra is weak, you are not attracting money. It's just you don't have enough masculinity to draw it in. If you don't have enough pleasure in you, then you just you're not attracting, you're not allowing a lot of money into your life. And so we're going to go through all the centers and we'll see where you might be blocking your money. I noticed it, and I decided to do this this live about the money with one of my clients, because her issue was completely different from mine and from what I used to see. And I was surprised. I was really honestly surprised that her issue with money was something like her throat chakra was blocked, so she couldn't speak out, like she couldn't call the money in. Like it sounds a little, but I will explain it next Sunday. But that was her issue, and so I decided, well, maybe everybody else has issues like different issues, and it's better to go through. So that's basically what we're going to do next. So on Thursday it's social life and social media, and next Sunday finances and femininity. All right, if there are no more questions, we're going to finish. Don't forget that I do have my course. It's on Udemy. I'll put the link in the description. Buy it if you're going to do those are energetic exercises for your femininity, to develop your femininity. Buy only if you're really going to practice. And if you did buy, let me know. If you do buy, let me know. I will add you to the chat. And do the meditation. Remember, we're still ladies, so we need to we need to feel pleasure. We need to be in this feminine, delicious state. Okay. Thank you. Welcome. You're welcome, my darling sister. Okay. Bye, everybody. Enjoy your Sunday. Bye, TikTok. I'm happy to see you on Thursday, 7 p.m. We're meeting here, and Sunday, 11 a.m. Every Thursday, every Sunday. Bye, everyone. Bye, YouTube.